what I'd like to do today is talk about a different kind of, an additional level of disaster, which is a catastrophic event. And if you've been following the news, you may have heard about this Brazilian tailings dam disaster last January, which released over 3 billion gallons of toxic waste into a community surrounding the mine, killing over 200 people, and there's still 50 people that are missing from this sudden release of toxic waste material from a mining operation. The same design in Brazil that caused this major disaster, which has been described by Brazil and the international environmental community as the worst mining disaster in history, is using a technology which Aquila Mining is now proposing for the Back 40 project. All right, in the film, we saw about the problem of acid mine drainage and heavy metal contamination. And that is a function of the presence of sulfide minerals in the ore body. Another level of threat is the tailings. The tailings are what come out of the milling process after they separated the gold and the zinc. The tailings are a mixture of water, processed chemicals like sulfuric acid and cyanide in a heavy paste that is deposited in these tailings ponds. These ponds, which are over 100 feet high, this one is 138 feet high, and it covers over 100 acres. Everyone understands what the Lambeau field is in Green Bay. That's the typical size of a football field. Imagine 100 Lambeau fields on the banks of the Menominee River. That is what is being proposed for the Back 40 mine. The only reason we know about this is because of a hearing that took place in last January, where Aquila was required to present a revised mine plan because they have expanded the area of the mine to include an expanded tailings management facility. The tailings are the waste material, as I said, that comes out of the mine in a liquid paste that remains to a certain extent in a liquefied state for the entire life of the tailings management area. And it is this problem of liquefaction of the waste which resulted in the disastrous tailings dam disaster in Brazil. And what happens is that the liquid waste becomes so powerful in destabilizing the sand, the tailings sand, which are fine-grained materials that are holding up the entire tailings dam, and they essentially create cracks in the tailings facility and release suddenly and catastrophically large amounts of toxic tailings into the surrounding environment. Brazil has banned this method of constructing a tailings dam. It's called the upstream tailings dam design, but it is now being proposed right next to the Menominee River by Aquila Mining Company and by the state of Michigan through the permitting process for the last permit that has not yet been granted, which is the dam and the air quality permit. All of this is part of a sophisticated psychological warfare operation on the part of both Aquila Mining Company and the state of Michigan to convince you that this mine is going to happen. And the way that they do that is consistently bombard the public with inaccurate, misleading, and outright falsifications of what is being proposed.